You know, the gentleman and all the gentlemen we're talking about, we're not talking about giving them a raise. For them, it's a lateral, you know, the ones who are working for Mobile, they're coming over here as a lateral transfer. So they're not getting a penny raise. They're keeping the same exact salary they're making now. It's just simply that we're paying more for the expertise and the experience than we were paying just having a building inspector two running our building department. It's the same thing in the police department right now. We're paying a lieutenant to be an acting chief, and he's not making a chief salary right now.
That's right, he's not.
But it depends on whether or not you have somebody who, you know, it depends how important is training, experience, certifications, and qualifications to you. As far as
We've got some here that's been here 25, 26, 27 years, but there's the pros. You'll do what you want to. I just want to go on record that I'm strictly against the salary. I'm not against it, gentlemen. He was impressive, and to me too. I sat in on it, but I think I told him that I was against it. But didn't I tell you that I was against it 5 or 6 weeks ago when you came to me?
You mentioned that you were concerned about. But I kept hearing you were concerned about how much money it would take, and we didn't really know. I know that one of them, the one of them that we interviewed was open $77,000, but he was across the bay.
Yeah,
It was 164 or something, 152, 142, and then one who's never been a building inspector, who has been who lives up in Oxford, Mississippi. That guy.
Oh, you had one in here that was a building inspector in Mobile.
And we had 3.
He was willing to take 5%. He made 5% more than what Kenny made, but he was willing to take a cut and started that salary. He was fairly impressive to me. I don't have a thing against him. And like I said, he impressed me. I like the gentleman, but I just don't like the salary, John, to start with. Anyway, that's all I want to do. I want to go on record that I'm strictly against it. The salary. I'm not against the gentleman. I'm against the salary. Big increase in salary than Kenny was making when he left too.
I have another one about this. Again, it goes back to it infuriates me that supposedly a man that I thought did an excellent job on his interview is supposedly a friend of mine. If that's the case, nobody in this room I could ever do anything for you because I consider everybody in here a friend. So those words, and to basically imply that it was favoritism, well, imply in this meeting that we're discussing this that it was a friend of mine is out of line. And I take personal offense to it. And it questions my ethical standing. And I would never do anything to compromise what I was elected to do. And that's about my conscience. Is there anything that can come out of this if he's accused of being my friend if I vote for someone? Okay. I'm all new at this. I just want to make sure I get this clarified.
Unless you're exerting favoritism for somebody.
Right. And I just want to clarify that.
You disclaim that you.
Okay.
I wasn't the one that said it, Joe.
Well, I understand, but you brought it up.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Oh, it was said.
Well, I think a lot of things are said.
I would like to say that Kenny apparently was a building inspector too, and we were actually hiring a chief building inspector. That's like an LPN versus an RN. You pay for what you get, and Saraland is growing by leaps and bounds. We have a lot of new businesses coming this way. We need a professional. He was professional, and I think he worth his pay. And I know there's a hiring freeze, and I know there's people that's been laid off, and I'm working with a company in the same way. But sometimes there's positions that you just have to fill because you've got a situation that's growing. We don't want anyone to come in here to cause us a liability that we lose money on. Someone that doesn't, and I don't think he needs to prove himself. I mean, he's already working in his capacity. So he doesn't need to be demoted to a building inspector too and then prove himself to be a chief building inspector. He's already a chief building inspector. He has experience, he has professionalism, he'll be a perfect match for this city as we continue to grow. And like I said, that's like an LPN versus an RN, you know, that's the difference there. And it is a larger salary. And I understand that, but apparently the building inspector too had his, and if he had been promoted, I would think that he would have had an increase in salary. If he had approved himself and was still here, he would have probably had to be making more, maybe $5,000–$10,000 more than what he was making. And so I was very impressed with the gentleman. I think he's extremely organized, meticulous, he's professional. I think he'll do a greater good for the city of Saraland, and I think he'll save us money. This guy does his own training and education. He doesn't send people out, and there's probably other areas he could save us
I
money.
don't have a problem with the gentleman.
Yeah, I know it's a salary.
It's a jumping salary.
And we did have another building inspector that passed other than the other shop, so, you know, we had one that passed from that department, and we had a death, 3 months ago. We had a gentleman died of cancer, and, so there's actually 2 openings over there right now.
That was Johnny Mitchell, he was just part-time.
He was, how many hours was he working?
He couldn't make but
Couldn't make
but
so much.
$14,000.
Yeah.
30 hours.
32, something like
What is the wishes of the council?
I move to appoint James Michael Black to the position of Chief Building Inspector for the city of Saraland effective February 27, 2010, with the council president to negotiate number of sick days to be carried over from his previous employment. I'll repeat it to you.
What's the effective date?
February 27,
Carry on.
with the council president to negotiate the number of sick days to be carried over from the previous employment with Mobile County Personnel Board.
One more question then I got. Who does he answer
But-
to?
Oh, let's get a second to the motion first, and then we'll have a discussion.
Second motion.
Okay. Mayor, he answers to you,
Who does he answer to?
to the mayor of the city of Saraland.
You don't answer to, well, some of them here now are answering to the council. And that's why I wanted to clarify this, because it's fixing to be some movements on direct and indirect orders, and also some of the employees that is answering to the council. So take it orders from the council. And I'll leave it at that, because I'm fixing to turn around, and I've been real lenient on this. It's been going on for a while. And then state law again, I will state that again. Council member cannot give employee, supervisor, a direct order or indirect order. And that covers a lot of territory.
I fully agree with the mayor, but on the other hand, I will clarify, a city councilman, just like any citizen, can make a request of a department head, or any city employee.
Indirect order they can.
No, not in direct order, but they can make a request. And just like any other citizen, it's up to the employee and or department head whether or not they wish to grant that request.
I understand that.
Okay.
What is an indirect order?
It covers a lot of ground. It's,
I'd like to know what that is.
well, you can request them to do this or whatever.
Is a request an indirect order?
Yeah.
So a request is an indirect order.
Actually, would you mind doing this?
Is an indirect order?
I've got all my ducks in a row.
Well, Dwight, I want an opinion on this, because this needs to be clarified. Is, you know, a councilman has the same rights of any other citizen in this city. And any citizen of the city can make any request they want from any city employee. It's up to the employee if they do it or not.
And a request is not an indirect order.
The request is not an indirect order. I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
Just for question.